right, so once again, I'm live, coming in early this morning. A lot of things going on. Stuff like that. I say it's been interesting. A lot of things going on. Health-wise and more. And the Chak usually come on to talk about chemical annihilation or something like that, right? So I'm gonna give him the opportunity to talk about it. So this is out of Connecticut. CT, if they call it. They call it the state of CT, Connecticut. You know, quite a few people from Connecticut, DJ for some 2 or 3 people from, a lot of things. Connecticut is an interesting place, right? But going through some things, obviously. No different than anywhere else. So, pull this up on Connecticut right quick.
Or hundreds of people are having to go through a hazmat decontamination process. 2 people are in the hospital because of it, with these reports of a suspicious package. I want to go to Aaron McLaughlin, who's following this for us. This has been developing up in Connecticut for the last several hours. What do we know about sort of what the status is of these folks that are having to get checked out?
Yeah, well, officials at this point, Hallie, seem to be extremely tight-lipped in terms of what they're saying about what actually happened there in New Canaan, Connecticut, at a facility belonging to a company known as BD, which is a medical technology company. What we do know from officials came in the form of a statement from the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, pointing to what they're calling a, quote, reported suspicious package incident, saying, quote, at this time, 2 individuals have been transported to a nearby hospital as a precaution. Approximately 300 to 350 personnel at the facility are undergoing a decontamination process as a precautionary measure. So notice in that statement, they repeat the word precaution. At the same time, though, we're seeing on the ground there this robust response, including the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, local officials, all responding to this scene, including Connecticut's Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. They're also talking about the decontamination that's happening there at the scene, saying DEEP has deployed a contractor to the site to manage the decontamination operation, including shower trailers and the safe collection of clothing for those exiting the facility. We have heard from BD saying they're taking safety very seriously and they're cooperating with local authorities. But again, big question about the nature of this so-called suspicious package incident that's unfolding there in New Canaan as we speak. Hallie.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
When it came time to take things to the next level.
Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us.
Some developing news out of Connecticut now, where hundreds
We are only a few hours away from a potential.
Okay, so we were talking about a strike of engineers in the train. This is New Jersey, by the way. It's a lot of things. What's up, man?
Yo, what's the word? You up early, man?
When I was younger, I called him my mom.
Well, I'm always up
I
early.
started calling him my dad when I was
Yo.
like probably
Well, you hear that?
in middle
Yeah.
school.
Listen to this right quick before you play.
Something. When he went through his process, I was 11 years old.
How did your dad first broach the topic of transitioning with you?
He asked me how I'd feel about it, and I said, if you want to be my dad, you can be my dad because you already dress like a boy anyways. And don't let anyone bring you down. Just do what you want to do.
We went through counseling for 5.5 years, and I think it's very important for a lot of trans people in general to put their children in counseling to get them more understanding of what they're getting themselves into, because not every.
Bro, look. Nah,
Bruh.
I would never have known that this was a woman before, bro. That's crazy.
Transition to a man, bro. Had a son and transition to a man, bro.
The opportunity to have a choice.
Jeez, oh measles. Jeez, oh measles. Continue to regular schedule program.
Well, on the regular schedule program today, there were people who discovered a suspicious package in Connecticut, and they had to evacuate.
In Connecticut?
Yeah.
What was the package too? Was it FedEx package, UPS package, what? USP package?
They don't say. As a matter of fact, they say the authorities want to remain tight-lipped. Now, and New Jersey, they about to be a strike today due to impact thousands of commuters. Talking about this going on hot off the presses.
Potentially major disruption to the nation's largest statewide public transportation system.
Starting at midnight, members of the Engineers Union for New Jersey Transit are set to walk off the job if they can't agree to a new contract with management. NJ Transit says the possible rail strike could impact 350,000 commuters a day. NBC's Marquise Francis is at New York's Penn Station in Manhattan and joins us now. So, Marquise, New Jersey Transit has not seen a strike like this since 1983. That one lasted about a month. So how did we get here in 2025?
Yeah, Zinkley, I mean, I can't overstate how big of a deal this potential strike is. You mentioned that 350,000 number. 70,000 people take the trains every single day. And this is the third largest public transit system in the entire country. And the main sticking points are working conditions as well as pay. And according to union leaders, the average pay for an engineer is somewhere around 113,000, and they want it to be around 170,000, on par with Amtrak as well as the MTA. Now, you ask NJ Transit leadership, and they say it's somewhere closer to 130 right now. And the top earners are actually over 200,000. But even if you take that 130, the 170, they're obviously pretty far apart. And so that's why they're in DC right now to discuss this. But time is running out because, as you mentioned, the deadline is at midnight tonight.
And caught up in all the middle of this are those 350,000 commuters. So how are people preparing? You're out there now at Penn Station. How are they getting ready for the possible strike?
Yeah, I mean, number one, people are just hoping for the best. NJ Transit itself said they will add more buses, but it won't come tomorrow. That won't come until Monday. And so some people are just trying to figure out how they're going to get to work tomorrow, if they're going to go to work at all. Some people are actually enjoying this. They're going to get some work from home. But those that do have to go to work, this is a headache. I don't want to throw to some sound from some passengers that I spoke to earlier today. Take a listen.
Now I'm going to have to take an Uber to get here, take the PATH train, wait for the 1 or 2 trains to get back to Uptown. So that's going to take more time.
Thankfully, my employers do have a contingency plan to allow remote working in the meantime, but we don't know how long the strike will happen for.
So pretty much depending on where you land, whether you want to go to work or not, but even outside of work, there's a lot of logistics involved. And so this strike really means a
So that's going on in New Jersey.
Strike.
Train system. So that's the engineers. Tornadoes touching down in the Midwest. All right. This is going on in Virginia, but it's going on in Rochester, which is in New York.
We're in verse, head to toe, feeling good to be a guy. We ain't sleeping on the couch. We're just resting our
challenges schools face these days are very different than they were just a couple of decades ago.
That's right. And as safety increasingly takes priority, local districts are adapting to that reality. Rochester Community Schools is implementing a new platform of technologies. It's all in an effort to streamline resources and cut down on emergency response times. I got a chance to listen to educators and a parent about what this means for them. As a parent, what goes through your mind these days?
Safety and security. I mean, my son is at school for 7 hours plus a day.
I've been in the district for 35 years, and there was a situation where we called 911. The ambulance was coming to the school, and we didn't have numbers on the doors. And so they didn't know what entrance to get in.
Jamie Sack, a parent with a 7th grader in Rochester Community Schools, and Calvin Gross, a teacher and coach, shared with me some of their concerns and the reality of how things have traditionally worked. But now, big changes are coming to Rochester Community Schools, the 6th largest school district in Michigan.
So the strategic safety platform is a wearable badge that incorporates our ability to map our staff and lets us know where everybody is in the event of a crisis.
Nicholas Russo is the superintendent of Rochester Community Schools. He's talking about Centegic's safety platform. Centegic's is headquartered in Atlanta, and they say they were founded on the idea that technology can create safer, more secure environments. Russo says they began looking into upgrading their system after the 2024 Appalachia High School shooting.
The response to that was, if we have wearables, this is how many it would have saved.
So let's just say a student were to hurt themselves. What would happen at that point in time?
A staff member presses 3 times, I need help. Response team comes and services the staff and the student and see what the needs are.
Now let's just say, heaven forbid, something more dire happened. What would happen then?
So a staff member would hit this 8 times or more. That immediately triggers a lockdown in the school. We would have the strobe lights going off. We would have the PA system taking over, initiating a lockdown that indicates to everybody at the same time what is happening and simultaneously sends a signal to our 911 responders.
And it creates a digital map that all those first responders can reference to pinpoint exactly where there's a problem.
They will see not only the location of where this is being triggered, but they'll also see where all the assets are in the building. So an AED, a fire extinguisher.
The district will spend $1.2 million over 5 years for the safety system.
We are the largest school district in the state to adopt something like this. We're very proud of the fact that it will match up with Alyssa's Law, which is prominent across the country. That really is about...
So basically, they put in a safety system in.
Say that again.
Basically putting a safety system in. No.
Yeah, man.
Oh, let's see. All right, this is something that's going on TikTok trend.
It's the disturbing TikTok trend putting kids in danger in classrooms across multiple states. A growing number of videos posted to TikTok and other platforms in recent days, appearing to show kids sticking school supplies like pencils and paper clips in their Chromebooks, sparking electrical fires and releasing toxic smoke. One incident at Connecticut's Newington High School forcing an evacuation.
It became clear that the damage was done intentionally, that it wasn't a malfunctioning Chromebook, but rather a student had intentionally done things to it that caused it to smoke and eventually melt.
Thankfully, no one at the school was injured, but the town's fire marshal, DJ Zordan, telling us it's not just the fire that poses a threat. What is the potential danger these students might be putting themselves and others in?
There is a risk of electrocution depending on what you're inserting into these laptops. If there's a fire, it's producing toxic smoke. We don't want people breathing that stuff. The lithium.
I did a lot of crazy shit as a kid. I ain't never think about doing no one like this though. This is a new one right here.
Damn.
Yeah, we it's kind of crazy, man.
Batteries are volatile, so if it does explode, there's a potential that you're going to injure people around you.
At least 2 other schools in the state also reporting Chromebook fires.
The hallways filling with smoke. We went in and ended up finding a laptop in a classroom that was pretty much out but on fire at one point.
Great. Yeah.
The trend popping up in classrooms from coast to coast. Last October, a school district in Washington posting online saying a student started a Chromebook fire with a pen. There's no one clear reason why students are doing this. One of the videos simply reading, quote, anything but work. Zordon says parents have to educate their children on the dangers involved.
Talk about this, explain the hazards, so that way we can try to prevent this from happening.
Tonight, a spokesperson for TikTok telling NBC News these videos are not exclusive to their platform and saying search terms like Chromebook challenge have been blocked. Google, which makes the operating systems for Chromebooks, did not respond to our request for comment, as school administrators now promise to crack down on the students responsible.
For a student who would do that deliberate destruction of school property, they will have a very serious consequence.
And Rahima Ellis joins us now on set. So Rahima, let's pick up where your piece left off. An investigation is ongoing. Ultimately, what sort of consequences could these students be facing?
Interesting you asked that question, because the Newington Public Schools sent out this message to students and parents all across their district, letting them know this is extremely serious. And
kind of crazy when you really think about it.
Right.
But they go to show you, man, hey, look, people will do anything. I mean, I'm not saying they're right, but they doing a lot of crazy stuff. You know, I thought about it, man. I mean, when you got a lot of stuff, because the new toy is not a little toy that you play with. The new toy is actually a cell phone.
Yeah.
Now, Shaq, this for you if you got a car.
I got a who?
We got a car. No, Doc Balls, we was on last night. Actually late.
What did he say?
He said early morning. I said we was on last night.
Yeah, no, this early morning, but we was on last night.
Yeah. We was on last night at like it's 2 o'clock on the East Coast, 1 o'clock on the West. Well, whatever. Yeah, here we go. Here we go right here. Viral. No, that's it.
Tonight for anyone scrolling social media to try to find a new car. Atlanta News first Alani Latang is live in Gwinnett County. And Alani, investigators say this involves Facebook Marketplace and cars stolen out of New York.
That's exactly right, Carly. So it starts with stealing the cars from New York, then selling them here under an altered VIN number on Facebook Marketplace. Police tell us they've already arrested one person accused of selling these cars deceptively. And tonight we're taking a look at that video of that arrest.
Face the car. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
Sell a stolen car on Facebook, go to jail. That's what Gwinnett County police say this officer's body camera captured. They say this woman allegedly tried to sell a stolen Honda CR-V to an undercover investigator through Facebook Marketplace, then tried to flee when seeing police.
So these vehicles are being sold at around $29,000, $30,000. So they're pretty pricey. They're making out with a lot of victims' money.
Police say a large group of people are suspected of stealing different Honda CR-Vs in New York, altering the vehicle identification number or VIN, then selling them on Facebook Marketplace in Metro Atlanta. Officers got a call from one victim saying a mechanic working on his CRV alerted him to a discrepancy in VIN numbers.
It opened the door to a lot of other victims.
Victims, including dealerships, thinking they're selling legit cars.
How easy is it for, people to overlook, dealerships to overlook?
Very easy.
Shamil Shad, the general manager at Atlanta Used Cars, says earlier this year they bought a car from a Carvana auction. After selling it, the buyer called to tell them it was stolen. Shamil says police tracked the VIN to a stolen car from Hertz rental car company. He says Carvana issued them a check after they investigated.
Saving up money for a down payment or for the whole car and purchasing it and then, being accused of stealing it from law enforcement, all of that is definitely not a very good experience at all.
Shamil says they're now triple checking the VINs on all cars they purchase, from the windshield to the door to the car's computer.
There's an endless amount of ways that people can commit fraud in this business. VIN swapping is probably the most simple.
All right, Chak, so this is going to show you that somebody can put tags in your car, but they just said, fuck the tags, that's too easy. Let's go to the VIN number now. We got to up the scale a little bit.
You talking about skipping the VIN number
Yeah.
and selling and putting different VIN numbers and putting it on Facebook selling?
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
I can see that. A lot of that going here in Texas, man. These people be stealing vehicles and shit, and they run them down. Well, stealing vehicles in America, they run them down to the borders and shit. And like you said, they get new parts put on them, new VIN numbers and shit put on them, then they bring them back. Yeah, it's a big ring like that big going on.
Chop
Yeah.
shop. Sound like
Yeah, man.
Chop shop there. But they got it going on with it. See, that's crazy. They can sell a car and wouldn't nobody know because you ain't really gonna check the VIN number.
Shit, I check the VIN number. That's the first thing I look for a VIN number on that motherfucker. Let me look this. But like you said, if they putting a fake VIN number on there, then you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But yeah, people don't think to look the VIN number up. You're right. I'll look them up. The ones that if it's posted or because by law that's one thing they got to get that VIN number by law. But if they putting fake VIN numbers up there or you know what I mean, fraud, man. Bro, I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, they have been doing a lot of stuff like that. I mean, I just say, hey, what's up, Nelson? How you doing? But they doing crazy shit like that, man. I just laugh at it. It's so funny. It is funny, man. I just like, damn, these motherfuckers doing wild shit. Well, you had something going on last night. And we had something going on last night too. They've been asking this guy around here lately, man. They said they've been asking newsman, "Are you the shooter?"
Asking what?
The newsman, is you the shooter?
Why they asking the newsman if he the shooter?
Because every time they have a shooting, he get there. When they have a shooting here, he on every damn case, whether it's in Richmond or Petersburg.
I'm a terrible note taker. My notes
Who
look
is he?
like doctor's handwriting mixed with abstract art.
And these 3 shootings all took place actually within an hour. Right
Well,
now,
like
this
an
morning,
independent
we've had 2
media guy or
people
some shit
dead,
with him.
2
Who is he?
injured, and big.
No, he was CBS News.
Oh, okay.
Investigations underway in both Richmond and Henrico. So let me break them down for you. The first of the night happened in Richmond. It took place around 9:45 p.m. in the 2400 block of Warwick Road at Columbia Street. Police said they arrived to find a man and a woman, both with gunshot wounds. They were taken to the hospital. Crime Insider sources tell our John Burkett the woman suffered a non-life-threatening graze wound to her head, but the man's injuries were more severe, and police say he was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Then around 10:18 p.m., Crime Insider sources say Richmond police responded to a crash at the intersection of Midlothian Turnpike and Roanoke Street. Those same sources say police found a man with a gunshot wound to his leg Investigators say he was rushed to the hospital where he later died. Now, just after 10:30 p.m., Crime Insider sources say that third shooting of the night happened after two men were arguing outside of a 7-Eleven in the 6300 block of Horsepen Road. That's in Henrico. One man shot the other. That man has a non-life-threatening wound to his leg, according to our Crime Insider, John Burkett. Now, this morning, still several questions about the identities of those who were killed and injured. Also, if police have any suspects in custody. We're still working to find out more information, and we'll obviously bring that to you when we can. But if you have any information about either of the shootings that took place, you can contact Richmond Police, that number 780-1000 for Crime Stoppers, and reach out to Henrico if you know anything about the Henrico shooting in the Horsepen area.
And now we want to get to some.
Dang, that ain't exactly damn, that's kind of wild.
Say what? That's kind of wild.
Dang, Horsepen area. That's damn. Okay. All right. That's not a lot of activity go around there because I mean you got a Burlington. I mean houses on the back end, but more like a lawn area. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, look. Then you got, of course, you got in Philly, 2 teens shot, 1 killed.
Breaking news in Philadelphia, 2 teenagers shot right outside the doors of an elementary school in the Logan neighborhood. One of them did not survive. Our Dawn Timoney is live for us at Philadelphia Police Headquarters. And Dawn, this is yet another shooting in an area where kids are supposed to feel safe.
Exactly, Sheba, right on the steps of an elementary school. And police tell us more than 3 dozen shots were fired, and there were people inside the school at the time. Fortunately, none of the bullets went inside the building, but obviously super scary.
I used to play on this blacktop right here, and then now someone got shot on it. And it's like, it's heartbreaking. Like 2 teens getting shot like this breaks me. It tears me apart.
John Brown lives right across the street from Logan Elementary School on the 1700 block of Lindley Avenue, where police say 2 teens were shot just after 6 o'clock.
A 17-year-old male was shot in the hand and both legs. Police picked him up. He was conscious, talking.
He was rushed to the hospital and is stable. An 18-year-old, however, was found on the 2nd level outside the school, shot repeatedly.
He was laying on the courtyard area, unresponsive, multiple gunshot wounds to his chest and torso.
That teen pronounced dead at the hospital. Police say 38 shots in all were fired outside this school.
They're clearly 2 separate caliber, so we know 2 separate semi-automatic handguns were fired.
Members of Philadelphia Anti-Drug, Anti-Violence Network, also known as PAN, on the scene trying to offer their support.
That's crazy for something like that to just happen, and these people over here are literally not responsive, desensitized the neighborhood. Like there's no community, anything. We're boots on the ground, so we out here to help the community and see what we can do to help the families.
The community definitely feeling frustrated.
We need something different. We need something different for our young people.
Wow. Well, that's in Philly, right? Now,
to rise to life's challenges.
Now, Chak used to live in Florida, right? Now you take Ubers.
Get out of my vehicle! Shocking moments in the backseat of this Uber just outside Miami, Florida. She doesn't want to get out of my vehicle. The driver, apparently on speakerphone with 911, yelling at 2 passengers to leave her car. Get out of my vehicle right now.
She got them crazy eyes.
Get out! The driver pointing a gun at passenger Chrissy Celeste, an up-and-coming Miami rapper, and a second female passenger.
You're going to go viral.
Before driving off, the rear door still open. The video posted by Celeste on social media does not show what took place in the moments leading up to the confrontation. It unfolded around 10 p.m. on Tuesday night, according to a lawyer for both passengers.
There was a simple enough dispute that could have been resolved through conversation rather than having a gun pointed at you.
Dominguez did not provide further details on the nature of the dispute. In a statement to NBC News, Celeste saying, "We did nothing to provoke her." An Uber spokesperson telling NBC News, "This is extremely concerning. The safety of the Uber community is a top priority, and we removed the driver's access to the platform." Dominguez says the passengers are in therapy now, still shaken by this experience and some reactions online.
My clients have been receiving a ton of hate on social media, and it has increased their emotional trauma. And I'm just hopeful that at the end, we can secure some justice for them and hopefully some real change.
Hollywood, Florida police say they are investigating the incident, but have no additional information about the driver, who has not been publicly identified. And while the police department is looking into this, the attorney we spoke to for the passengers says they believe they know who the driver of that Uber is. At this point, though, they have not filed any complaint, any lawsuit against Uber or the driver. They're still looking into it, though.
Why the fuck you want me to sign in? I'm not signing into this shit. Well,
Yo. Yeah, look. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, you know what I can see? I can see this happening in a vacuum.
this was in you said it was in Miami. See, like I said, at nighttime. See, we got, and look, see what I'm saying, bro? People are too goddamn comfortable, bro. Screw my language. And I understand we got to be cautious, especially as women, man. All of us, but people in general, because a lot of these people, foreign people, bro, they don't have, I don't know, man. Because a lot of these people can't speak English. I had a problem, but the guy delivered my Uber Eats the other day. I was like, bro, you don't speak English? No, no, like, bro, you need to get it. I said, you need to get a translator app, dog, on your phone, man, so you can communicate with the people you dropping your food off with, dirty. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call Uber Eats, matter of fact, and I'm gonna have a conversation with them, man. And tell them, look here, y'all need to require all y'all drivers to have translator apps on their phones so they can translate with the patrons. Right? It don't make no sense. But yeah, I don't know what this is with the Uber, but it's a lot of violence going on, man. I told you, it's the hot month, bro. People tempers are flaring, and you're gonna see a lot of these aggressive prices going up. You know what I'm saying? It's the hot months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not.
And you got a lot of people that's here, huh?
I should tell you the truth, after all that rain today, after all that rain this week, it could be 90 degrees today.
Yeah, I bet it is. But yeah, temperatures flaring, man. I mean, you got a lot of stuff going on, man. They shoving a lot of stuff down people's throat on, through the media. A lot of temperatures flaring, man. People saying a lot of fraudulent shit online on social media shit. That's why I don't really say too much on social media like that.
There you go. Multiple tornadoes touching down in Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Oh my God. Wait, hold on. I want to do something. What? Holy shit.
So that guy obviously taking a picture of a tornado. All right. Now, you sent me this the other day, but I had known about it. I know people work there or been there. Man, I can go past it today.
You know Harbor Freight for affordability, but durability goes right along with it. You see, we test and then we
pay bills. I got to pay child support. I got to go to court next week. What I'm supposed to do? What I'm supposed to tell the people in court? They don't care about that.
Georgia Pacific employees sharing their voices tonight after the Emporia plywood mill announced it is shutting down effective immediately. Thanks for joining us here at 5:30. I'm Bill Fitzgerald.
And I'm Janine Samuels. The closure puts the plant's more than 550 employees out of a job. The company announced the decision this morning and sent a letter to employees. Rick Kimball with Georgia Pacific says they will be getting pay and benefits for the next 60 days and shared the reasons behind the plywood mill's closure.
It's really a combination of several things, mostly surrounding how plywood is used in the market.
Kimball points to a 30-year low in the house construction and remodeling business. The closure comes just 8 months after the Jarrett Boar's Head plant shut down in the area. One employee we spoke to today says he has now been impacted by both closures.
It hurt for a young black individual like me that's trying to do right, and do things the right way and take care of my kids, because this a loss for me. And then they shut down Boar's Head. I was just about to start at Boar's Head. They shut Boar's Head down. Now they done shut this place down. What jobs do we have in Emporia?
It's going to cripple this town. You just lost Boar's Head, you lost GP. Ain't going to be nothing left here.
We also heard from Virginia Secretary of Labor Brian Slater. He says the Virginia Works Rapid Response Team is in touch with Emporia and Greensville County, and they are working to help people impacted to find a new job. Slater says while the loss of Boar's Head and GP is a double blow to the town, the Virginia Economic Development Partnership is working to find a way to fill that facility and bring other jobs to the area.
So that's what you're talking about.
Oh, shit. Pay bills.
Now I gotta go past there today, actually. Matter of fact, yeah. They
You said you gotta go past there?
Yeah, because if you're going to North Carolina, this is right there before you get to North Carolina. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah, so I mean, but I know about it because Emporia is a small town. I don't even got 5,700 people living there. It's a small town. It's like a little small country town still. Now,
I'm a former V of DV. So
what is the
definitely
other
have something
one?
I want to say, something to contribute to this conversation. For all the women, especially the black women that have something to say about Cassie staying with Diddy for so long,
Hold on, bro.
please shut up.
Right.
And I don't mean just
Listen.
shut up. Exit stage left,
Listen
stand
to
in
this.
the back, look in the corner, and never speak again. Because obviously y'all don't know what abuse is. Abuse does not start with physical. It starts mentally. In order for someone to get you to that point, they have to mentally break you. This man groomed her from the age of 17. I'm going to keep saying 17 because that's when he laid eyes on her. Yeah, I like Cassie. I'm a former V of DV. So I definitely have something I want to say.
Oh, so that's a new word now. That's a new word. DV. You know what DV is? Everybody uses DV now. She said she's a former V of DV. Why are you so spell the whole words out now? But listen to this. You can hear this.
I'm Reba Hollingsworth. Here's a look at some of the day's top stories.
Pay bills. I got to pay child support. I got to go to court next week. What I'm supposed to do? What I'm supposed to tell the people? They don't care about that.
Georgia Pacific employees sharing their voices tonight after the Emporia plywood mill announced it is shutting down.
Let the games begin. He literally broke this girl's spirit to the point where she wanted to go play in ongoing traffic.
You heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let's let that play a little bit. Oh, you want to pull that up? Pull it up right quick. Matter of fact, did you get that?
What about the thing with Cassie in them?
Yeah, your girl did this. I'm trying to show a little love this morning, you know. Miss Jones. Hold on, let me send it to you. Let me see. Hold on. What you want? You want it in Messenger? Where you want it? This video. It's not like.
I don't care what you saying there, but hold on. Now, I just wanted to show you something, right? Yeah, I play it a minute because I'm trying to show you this junk.
She gonna say some yay.
They got.
I hope you listen to our shit. Why you send all these damn text messages? You need to be up in the damn chat saying, "Hey, salute." Damn it.
Yeah. eBay.
This is what I was telling you last week.
With federal Real ID requirements less than 48 hours away, there's a bit of a stampede for walk-in slots at local DMV offices since anyone flying in the U.S. will need that ID starting Wednesday. While many potential travelers have set appointments, others arrive before 8 a.m. hoping to get one of those walk-in slots. The Real ID will get you on a plane inside a federal building and onto a military base. But to get one, you need to bring proof of identity, proof of legal presence, 2 proofs of residence, proof of a social security number, and proof of a name change if it has changed. At a Henrico DMV office this morning, some found they did not have every document they needed.
I am now going to get a financial statement from my bank. They're requesting that, even though I've already bought bills and things like that. So they're now asking for financial statements.
How long do you have to wait?
It's been 2 hours.
It's too much. It's too much. So now, if I wanted to go to like California, I have to use my passport inside the United States.
What did you see when you're in there?
Oh, I mean, the lines, I don't know. It didn't move. I mean, I scheduled an appointment. I'll come back June 26th. I'm not flying anywhere before then.
Yeah, this junk was packed around the building when I was out there, man. When I went out there, I happened to see, that was downtown, and I happened to see a lot of people riding past DMV lines and shit. So
You trying to get the Real ID shit?
Man, they was out there junk packed. Now, Lord, let me go to something about this thing with what's a girl named Cassie? I told you
I sent it to you. Yeah, I sent it to you in your messenger.
All right, I got it. I mean, it's kind of wild.
I hope unless you need to be trying to help me get my damn subscribers up on YouTube. Shit.
What the fuck? What pen? What pen is this?
What's that?
Talking about some pen I need to use something. All right. 8, 9, 4, 7. No, I don't need it. Yo, get this shit off here.
Premiere. Oh, you got some Premiere. Hold on. What shit is this? Oh, I gotta see this one. Hold on. Oh shit, I need to see this one.
What the fuck? What is that thing at?
With your messenger?
I got it.
You said it's Jalen. Who the fuck is it? It's Jalen's.
Let me hit it. Let me hit it. You talk about here.
Please shut up. And I don't mean just shut up. Exit stage left, stand in the back, look in a corner, and never speak again. Because obviously y'all don't know what abuse is. Abuse does not start with physical, it starts mentally. In order for someone to get you to that point, they have to mentally break you. This man groomed her from the age of 17. I'm gonna keep saying 17 because that's when he laid eyes on her. Because that's when them little wheels in his head started turning. And when she got to the age of 20,
Oh, no, I thought she was the Ron Leslie dude, though. Oh, back up.
girl's
Slow down. Stop. Slow down. Stop that.
Ongoing track.
She was with the. Hold on. So how old was she when she was with Ron Leslie? Because she had already had some music out with him. They lying about the age, bro. Because she was with Ryan Leslie before she was with PD. So damn, she was with Ryan Leslie when she was 16, 15, bro. And they were dating too. And he was allegedly 10 years older than her at the time when she was first dealing with him.
That's some crazy shit.
But dude, I'm not looker. I don't encourage that motherfucker to make that DV shit, what they call domestic violence. But at the same time, bro, this little chick, man, was jumping all and flying all around, man. She was dating and sucking fucking a lot of dudes, bro, in the industry, bro. I'm not saying that warrants someone to domestically violate you either. That's two separate things. I'm saying when you dwell in that type of energy and you try to be around those type of vampires, you gotta get out of that lifestyle, bro, because you're not gonna be able to survive in that lifestyle where you got people with that type of energy around. You feel me? So this should be teachable moments to all people, young girls, women, men, young boys, bruh. Be aware of your surroundings, dog, and don't let this damn vanity over sanity's fame and shit go to your head where you just gonna accept anything because a person can afford you certain lifestyle, dog. What you laughing at? Now finish playing, my bad.
Man, this girl is on the J right here.
Yeah, let it play. Let it play.
Have your spirit
Let it cook.
and to feel like there's no way out and you just stuck. If you ever been in an abusive relationship, you know how hard it is to walk away. Because when you're scared that person's going to retaliate on you. And let me not forget that Cassie tried to run several times. He allegedly set Kid Cudi's car on fire.
About this at all. And people say, well, they're not politicians, whatever.
He dragged her back into a hotel room. I don't want to hear people say she never tried to run away or get away. There are plenty of stories of that. But you also at a point that you're so low to the point where you think you can't live without that person. That's why abuse starts mentally. They break you down, they feel head, and then they can physically.
All right, sorry to interrupt because she is definitely on point. I know that and I know it from experience. All right, so you see what's on the screen, right? So what to know? Start of the relationship, early FOs, defense strategy, other relationships, drug use, and the most important thing is the prosecutor is concerned that Ventura, who is heavily pregnant, could have the baby over the...
Yeah, I just realized. Yeah. I realized she was pregnant too. Yeah, I saw that.
Right, probably 8 months, right?
Yeah. This one, what? This got to be some type of play right here. But
hold on. Why would you put an 8-month-old woman on the stand to relive the hash this so much traumatic stuff that happened? She ain't been in a relationship with in 10 years. I think their relationship ended with ain't been 10 years. Their relationship ended with 2018, 2019 or something. And she didn't got married to a whole other dude that had 3 kids by the dude. And she didn't have, and thank God she didn't have no kids by Diddy. I don't know what, she probably could have had some, huh?
Yeah,
you said they supposed
to. Yeah, they said they wanted
to. But see, these should be teachable moments, bro.
Well, let me say this before I go, because I gotta hit. But look here, man, I got something to tell you. This is some funny shit. So I was like, a lot of stuff going on. Down there in Florida, you got Debbie Wasserman short, so you got all these distractions and all that. I was like, damn, I said, dang. I always say when they run all the distractions, what are you shout out to Nelson, matter of fact, because she put a thing a couple weeks ago of a doll, I guess a black baby mama or something like that. And I think you put back, where's the Jew one, right?
No, what? I don't know what you gotta run that back. 'Cause, I be,
Right.
you know how I be in the moment sometimes.
It don't matter. Well, the Jew one, they're celebrating Jewish American Heritage. Who developed the first polio vaccine? Yeah, this one, Jonas Salk. Yeah.
What is this? Some type of dial?
I told you, man. Hey,
Huh?
man, they were running all that game, and I was like, hey, they run a lot of game. They just passed a resolution in Florida yesterday or the other day for anti-Semitism. I said, what is going on? I said, oh, it's Jewish. Let me tell you, you got 5 things going on here. You got Memorial Day coming up. You had Mother's Day, Nurses Week. To this week is Hospital Week, but the month is Jewish American Heritage Month.
Hey, you got Trump. I would imagine this ish that they ain't just Afrikaners, that they probably ish too. Yeah,
Well,
they
yeah.
probably.
Well, yeah.
See what I'm saying?
As a matter of fact, I told you they were trying to they're trying to get 70,000 South Africans to get asylum. Now, it was 49 of them, so it wasn't like they made a big deal, but they tell you it was 49 of them. But at the same time, if you know the
Hold on.
South
Why they
Africa,
don't send them to Israel though? Why they want to send them to? Why they want to? We need to have a conversation with these months, bro. Hold on, bro. I thought you just trying to get these people fired, and then you bringing people back in.
it's not. They bringing in the ones that were like I think they brought in like a cartel group. Actually, to tell you the truth, that guy over there in
You said a cartel group.
Yeah, cartel group. Yeah.
Huh?
You look at,
They brought up a. Hold on. I thought they were trying to. Hold on. Say that again. You mean a cartel group? Talk so I can understand.
I'm not calling you the cow on this one, man. But hey, look.
They brought a court. You said they brought a cartel group in, and that mean they must have been rain terror on the people that's in America then, huh? There's going to be some more carnage and violence going on.
Well, it's more carnage violence.
Huh? They bringing violent groups in. I thought he was trying to get rid of violent groups.
17 members of notorious cartel leader enter U.S. in a deal with Trump administration, Mexico says. Mexico confirmed that 17 members of cartel leaders crossed the U.S. last week as part of a deal between the son of the former head of Sinaloa cartel and the Trump administration. Mexican Security Secretary confirmed a report by Intern General Lewis that family members of Delio Guzman Lopez, who was extradited to the United States in 2023, had entered the U.S. They were running a hotel called the the Sonora cartel after notorious capo Joaquin El Chapo Gomez was in prison. Gomez in prison in the U.S. Yeah. So they say I think 17 members of I text it to you. You can look it up.
They say they think they snuck in the country.
No, they didn't sneak in the end of the deal.
What? Yeah, you gonna have to send it to me. You said they ended the deal.
But look, let me bring one thing to you before I go. About those South Africans.
Yeah.
A lot of people understand. Them people is actually Dutch, man. Them people probably Dutch, man. They probably
Yes,
Dutch.
most likely. No doubt.
So I just
No
say
doubt.
you need to pay attention to that. or who, because you know South Africans, they actually use the Dutch or people that, because they actually is colonizers on that land too. So, so it is what it is. But I just look at it like, hey, hey, man. I mean, the South Africans got a big time Nazi history too, but that's either here or there. Where they gonna be at? But I would
Well,
say
now
that.
somebody said, I don't watch the Dave Calloway. He said somebody in this chat said Idaho. What is that? Let's say Idaho, Alabama. Let me see. Idaho, Alabama, Michigan. You said Michigan? I know they said. I know Idaho and Alabama. And it was like four other ones that somebody mentioned. Well, I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't did the background research on it, but I don't know if that's true or not. So I don't let me.
Well, yeah, we're not living to the states, but there's a lot of things going on there. But
What's that? What's that you sprayed? Huh? Yeah, what is it? Oh, it's perfume. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, let me hit the road, Jack. But shout out your information.
Yeah, man. Salute, man, for everybody that tapped in, man. I couldn't see the chat. I mean, if you got time to shout out the people when I get done.
Dawson and
Dawson, salute.
yeah, I actually mentioned her because she's
Doc Boss, I heard Doc Boss when you when this time. Salute, man. Shout out y'all. I might go live either this morning or today. I've been it's around about that time. I'm about to take my morning walk, so I might go live and jump on have a continued
happy
service
first week.
conversation myself.
And,
Huh?
Yeah, actually, well, it's all right.
But yeah, man, y'all can chop it up with me, man. Go on Facebook. I mean, Facebook, Shaq Edwards or Chicago Edwards on Facebook, Instagram, Shaq Waller and Shaq Waller on YouTube. I don't try to build with YouTube. I've been doing little shorts, trying to get the hang of, give me some shorts in so I can go live.
Yeah, because
Well, they give me a couple shorts so my baby can go live straight from my channel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
that was I sent you a link last night, but it was like 11:40 at night. I was packing, but at the same time, I was the moment. Like I said, but people they go to Chi-Town, I'll be in North Carolina, and we're gonna see what these people like in here, in this area, be in Greensboro.
what hey Dawson, what you doing this morning? You want to jump on live with me? Because I think I might go live on Instagram or Facebook. You want to? I'm gonna go out and do my morning walk. So hold on, who's this mama? She put in the chat.
Go do your walk and
early
make sure you walk and drink plenty of water. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to give me.
Matter of fact, let me get my water right now. And you know what I do? Like I said, I normally squeeze. I normally squeeze me a little lemon either in my water or put a little tinge of baking soda in the water when I drink it. Because like I said, you can't just drink regular plain water, man. Like especially in hot months, you gotta put some electrolytes in your body. If you got some grapes or blueberries and stuff, this would be the prime time to throw your grapes and blueberries in the freezer. And if you out, you know what I'm saying, take them over with you and pop them in. That's a good refreshment, something to refresh your hydration.
All right, we got take time.
Yeah.
I'll be back soon. All right, gotcha.
Yeah.